Good morning, everybody. Sorry for being a little late, but the cyber cat required some lap time, and that took a little longer than expected. Let's see, is the camera focused well enough? Okay, that looks good. Let's see if I can remember how to do this without looking at the book. All right. And actually, I should drop some of these Tama. They're pretty high first. The reason I call him the cyborg cat is because a couple of years ago, he apparently managed to break all of the metatarsals in one of his legs. We think he likes to hide in the rafters in the basement, and we think what happened was he was jumping down on a wireframe shelf and managed to get his paw caught between the wires and broke it that way. So we had to spend about $3,000 to get titanium pins put in on all of his bones so that he could heal properly. He seems to be doing pretty good now. He jumps and plays around like he has no pain, so that's a good thing. But he insists on lap time with just me and just in my computer chair. So when I'm there and he gets in, I don't want to just knock him off again back to the ground by standing up when he's clearly insisting he needs quality lap time. Okay. All right, so start on the counterclockwise side of the top and bottom pair to the middle of these on the sides, matching color. Back up one, and then bring them back around to the top. And then we repeat that in the mirror direction. And that's looking right. And then we take again the counterclockwise side of these, move it over here, grab the middle of the pair, bring it back up like this, grab these, back here, and then these back to here. I think that's right. Not bad. Okay. Well, it says we got one person on. Anybody have anything they want to say? Or let's see if I can get this bag to raise up the way it's supposed to. Hey, that actually worked. Not bad. Picked that up recently on the Kumihimo, I believe, Kumihimo International Braiders Facebook group. And I think it was Josh who posted it, but I could be wrong on that. Hey, hi, Michael and Britt Jap. Nice to meet you both on here. Haven't seen you guys on before, and welcome to the braiding stream. This is the first time I've done this braid was the last stream. Oh, Diane. Hi, nice. I'm glad I was able to finally braid at a time you're able to come on and watch. Again, this is like the second braiding stream I've done this particular braid. Alrighty. At this point, I'm just trying to get this braid kind of settled in my kinesthetic memory. And I think I just screwed that one up. So So let me look at the book and see what I did wrong. Okay. All right, so there, and there. Okay, that just looks a little weird, but that was the proper move. Okay. And okay, so you are 13 hours off from me, or 11, depending on which way you go around the clock, but I know you're ahead as opposed to behind. So happy Sunday evening to you. And I just wanted to say thank you, or I'm glad you were able to stop by. It's you've definitely been one of my inspirations for braiding. I don't know if you were on in time to hear about the cyborg cat. If you weren't, I can go over that again really quick as to why I was late. Basically, one of our cats demanded some attention, and since he only has one place that he really enjoys getting petted, I have a hard time turning him down. Unlike most of my other braiding streams, I don't really have a good verbal mnemonic for this. It's more of a visual for me. So I just got to remember where the strings were in relationship to each other, which is one of the reasons why I'm doing this slow until I get the memory set very well. Looks like this one definitely benefits from a little bit of repositioning at the point of braiding just to make sure everything's set right. I am hoping to have takadai braids set up soon. For braiding streams. I just have to finish fixing my takadai. I also need to finish getting set up to make more takadais. I've got several people who are interested, and I want to make them relatively available so when people want to get one, they don't have to wait a long time for one. But this is what my Tori looks like currently. It managed to break off the wood pins, so I'm going to be replacing them with steel lag bolts. So it won't come off again, hopefully. Last braid, I held them in place with C-clamps while I was braiding. Since I went ahead and went with 4 strands of DMC floss, so this braid wouldn't be too long, since I'm doing most of these for demonstration as opposed to my usual thing of making them for people for belts. This one's going fairly quickly, which means I need to do a lot of tama drops quickly. I also want to be able to provide some more variation in patterns rather than just doing the same braid over and over and over again until it's finished. So people stay interested and it doesn't take as long to go through more patterns for people to learn, because not everybody likes to do the braids I like to do. Yeah, I really picked up my interest in the takadai about 20 years ago. I made 2 relatively quickly, and then there was like about 15, 16 years I didn't make one at all. And then I figured, hey, it's time to start making them again, especially since I heard that Braider's Hand had a long backlog. So I've got the equipment for it. I just need to make the tweaks necessary so I can make a lot of them as opposed to just like one at a time. The last one I did was for Zada, so she would have one before she passed away. I've been meaning to do one for a while, and when I found out she had cancer, it's like, okay, that's top priority, since she was the one who taught me how to braid in the first place. It was the least I could do to thank her. And I also need to make a couple more Marudais. Claire Casson asked me to do the Maru-dai braid. And that one looks like would definitely benefit from a larger center hole in the mirror. And so I need to make one myself to get it the size I'm comfortable with. This is definitely kind of small for me, especially for some of the larger braids. This braid also definitely seems to benefit from more of a up over the top, if possible, braid moves as opposed to just lifting and moving along the edge of the mirror, especially on the mint green ones. That was my big secret when I first started learning. It was pointed out to me by the people who I'm horrible with names, and I apologize for that. But I bought the Tama molds from. They pointed out that on a lot of the patterns, going up over the top as opposed to just lifting it around helps the point of braiding settle much better. It's a little harder to do on this one because there's not a lot of direct crossover. They're more 90-degree moves, but it definitely seems to help with these. If I can just remember to do them on this one. I also hope the regular announcements I've been doing when I've been having braiding streams hasn't been annoying to people on the Facebook groups. But nobody's complained. Everybody seems to appreciate it. And I tend to get between like 2 and 4 people dropping by live. And within a week, probably about 30 people who've watched at least some of the stream. Okay, Tamas are dropped again. Oh, and thank you for the likes. I really appreciate that. Helps get the channel a bit more visibility in the algorithm. And it's just about time for another bag raise. And there we go, long enough to see the braid. Okay. Well, I only had to refer to the book once, so that seems to be pretty good for picking this one up. Still a little slow, but I don't think too bad. Braid's definitely progressing very quickly. Oops. Didn't snug up the bag holding method. Yes, definitely. I actually get that a fair amount of that with some of the simpler takadai patterns, the ones with like less than 15 or 20 moves. I can get those going fairly quickly, like some of the Kiko ones where they're only like 4 moves repeated. I can get that going pretty quickly on those in the zone. Pickup braids definitely require a lot more attention. Um, I've got a commission for a pickup braid in green and white silk that I want to get started on fairly soon once I get the design hammered down. That just doesn't look right. Okay, so that was what I picked up the wrong one. Okay. It's helped that this one has a fairly distinctive finish position that's diamond shaped. Lets me know when I screw up. So anyway, once I get the pattern hammered out to a reasonable approximation of what they want, because it's a fairly complex design, so I'm going to have to make the braid fairly wide, and I probably would need a proper, or not proper, a larger takadai to easily do it. So, but once I get the design done and my takadai fixed, I'm going to do that. I do have an intermediate design I want to do that's relatively simple to later, but a friend also asked if I would do that one on a stream so that they could see why they keep having problems when they try and do it. So. I'll probably do that first because that'll be a relatively quick braid to do. And when I'm winding tama using silk from reels, it takes me a really long time, and I get frustrated on that. I'm not going to be streaming that because it'll probably be fairly boring to watch, and I don't really have a good way to show it. That's definitely wrong. Okay. Ah, that explains it. I tried to do the same move twice. That doesn't work too well. That's what I get for talking while I'm braiding. But the streams would be kind of boring if I don't, so. I'll have to think about it. I'm definitely going to have to clean up the mess that is this room up here. focusing in on the mirror is not the only reason I have a close focus camera. I really need to clean up the room so I'm not embarrassed showing it on stream. Okay, now it's time for this move. That looks much better. Mostly for braids, I use DMC floss. It's relatively inexpensive. It's like about 50 to 70 cents a skein, and I can pick it up fairly easily. Um, and if I do it single or double length, I can usually get a decent belt length braid out of it. Since I'm in the Society for Creative Anachronism, that tends to be what I do, is make belts for braids for people. Um, but I also figured if I could start doing these live streams, not only does it give me a chance to braid a lot more, um, it helps people learn, and I can do braids as demonstrations rather than feeling I need to make it as a belt for somebody. So it gives me a little more versatility, as I can do it as a demonstration rather than my I have to do something productive mindset kicking in on me. Um, Doing it as a demonstration keeps that part of my personality in check a little bit. So I'm also trying, just in general, to get this YouTube channel monetized again. Way back in the dawn of YouTube, when they first brought out monetization, it qualified, and I think I made a whole like 12 or 15 bucks before their requirements expanded to where it was no longer monetizable. That requires 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. And I was thinking, there's nothing I could really do that would get people to come regularly and watch regularly. And then I realized, wait a minute, there's not a lot of Kumihimo braiding streams or braiding videos. I mean, there's a few, but they tend to be like just a couple per person. And I can, since I like braiding, I can keep doing it for hours and hours. Okay. If I ever get a chance to travel for one of those, since I don't have a lot of free travel time, I will definitely try and make it there. But yeah, that I really enjoy it. My wife calls me a Kumihimo pusher, so being able to um, essentially teach from the comfort of my own home is definitely a nice bonus there. And as time goes on, I've got a larger and larger library for people to just go and visit when they want to learn something specific, which is one of the reasons why I've been asking people for braids they would like me to do. Um, so that I don't just do the same 5 or 6 braids I tend to do all the time, because I like how they look. And for most of the people I've met in person who do Kumihimo as well, which admittedly are mostly in the SCA, I seem to be one of the people who has an easier time picking up patterns and doing them. I figured this would be helpful to people. Yeah, I did something wrong there. I'm pretty sure I just picked up the wrong. Okay. That looks better. Yeah, I picked up the wrong string on the left side. Okay, Diane, I'll definitely try and make that. I'm mostly on the East Coast, so it depends on how far away it is and if I have the available vacation time. I'm catching up on the chat. Yeah, that's definitely why I wanted to ask people what ones they wanted to learn so that I'm not just doing the same ones over and over. I was thinking of possibly doing things like Facebook polls, but mostly I've been asking in the chat here while I'm doing the streams so that the people who come by get an additional benefit from visiting. Got to try and tie in that marketing attempt. I've also been thinking about doing things like setting up a locals or Patreon so that I can do additional stuff like maybe Michael's request for showing how I actually wind the silk from cones onto tama, and they can watch me swear and stumble and go, crap, I messed that one up, got to unwind it, rewind it. Oh no, it fell apart. I got to start again because it's now become a completely tangled mess and I can't use this particular tama. So, okay. The key to getting this pattern for me was instead of referring back to the book between each move, was realizing when I set it down, the next one I need to pick up, which is right next to where I set it down, makes it a lot easier to just get in the habit of doing that until my kinesthetic memory picked that up. Okay, I'm assuming that last bit, since I wasn't looking at the chat, was about me realizing that I've completely tangled up winding a tama, and it's not worth trying to untangle it because it's just a complete mess of very, very tiny silk threads. I've only done that like 8 or 10 times. Fortunately, I haven't lost too much silk that way. Though the place I've been ordering in Japan, their prices are definitely reasonable for the amount of silk they offer. I did a, I think 12-foot long pickup braid on the last one I did that was red and black, and I still have this much silk left over on the cones. So I could definitely get another braid out of it easily. And the other thing I found is that the materials cost relative to the amount of time I put into braiding. I can't really afford to, I don't have the market to be able to sell what it is that I braid at the prices that would be reasonable on an hourly basis. I just don't have the name following to be able to get that. So I either do braids as a favor for friends or just because I enjoy it. So the material cost tends not to be a driving consideration for me for the amount of time I put in on them. I had a friend that wound up requesting like about 20 different Maru-dai braids from me and as belts, and it's like, you're a friend and everything. I just don't have the year of braiding time to be able to dedicate to it at that point in time. And if I eventually get monetized again on YouTube, I figure I can use that for being able to pay for supplies and time without having to get any one specific person to pay for it directly. Not that I'm expecting to get monetized and make a lot of money at it, but it'd be nice if it would regularly pay for the floss so I can have a reasonable amount on hand. Okay. I also definitely try and mention the tips and tricks I've picked up as I braid that I don't always remember when I try and set up a class or something like that. So I may not always remember it, but when I think about it, it's usually while I'm braiding and I try and mention it on stream. But it sounds like for those that are not in the US, this might be a good time on the weekends to have a regular braiding stream. So I'll definitely consider trying to do more at this time frame. I think as long as I don't wait too long between braiding sessions, I think I've got this pattern picked up. I need to spend the most attention on the side pickups or drop down and pickups so that I don't pick up the wrong one. But other than that, it seems to be reasonably in my memory. Not really a verbal mnemonic, definitely a shape and feel braiding. I think after this one, I'm going to need to drop the tama again. Well, I don't normally work Sundays anymore since I changed employers, so definitely a time I should be able to do regularly. I just have to remember to get to sleep at a reasonable time on Saturday nights. Yeah, this Marudai mirror is about just under 10 inches, and I want to make a nice 12-inch one to easily do 32 tama braids. and have it thick enough that I can have a nice funnel, so the point of braiding is floating a little more free than it is on most of the Marudais I've worked on. The first wood Marudai I got was relatively thick and um, had a nice funnel in the mirror. That's the one I've been doing the Hanankumi braid, the 23 strand red and black one recently. And I want to do that in a slightly larger mirror size. All right, let's raise the weight bag up and pinch it so it properly holds. That's a reasonable amount of braid production. It's looking nice and consistent. It's more of an oval than a round. Definitely got the ridge on the sides there of the mint. So, mistake there. Okay. It's far enough back. I am definitely not unbraiding to get back to that point. Some of the YouTubers that I watch regularly are in Korea and Australia, so I'm used to the 12 to 13 hour offset from my time zone. So unfortunately, Monday through Friday and usually Saturday, I can't do early morning braiding streams because I'm at my day job. And I seriously doubt I'm ever going to get successful enough at this on YouTube to not do my day job. But I'm also only about 10 years or so from retirement, so that might be a possibility once I retire. And if I haven't said it before, I really appreciate you guys being able to come on. It's nice to do these braiding streams when there are people on and watching while I'm doing it, and I'm able to interact and have something to say specifically rather than just trying to figure out what to say with no feedback. So I definitely appreciate that, and thank you for that. Though I haven't been as alert as I usually am, because A, it's morning and I tend not to be a morning person, and B, I've had a migraine for most of the weekend. It seems to be mostly gone at this point, so but that was my first migraine for about a month, so the new medicine they've had me on has been working more or less. I also admit I am hoping to push Marudai and takadai braiding more than discs. I did start with discs cut out of a soda 12-pack box, but I definitely find the Marudai a lot more aesthetically pleasing and easy to use. So I'm hoping to get people to do that. Plus, I also really enjoy the takadai and would like to see more people do that. Not the least of it because I'm hoping to have a decent side business of making takadais for people. And get to the point where I can identify when I'm picking up the wrong string before I finish the move. That's a plus. I'm going to drop some of these a bit more. Though Kumihimo teaching story, I found that the thing that most people have the hardest time with is learning how to wrap a lark's head knot around a tama. But it definitely makes it a lot easier braiding once you get that down. Okay. We've been going for about 50 minutes. I know it's a bit late in your guys' time zone. I'm happy to keep going as long as you guys are. So just give me a heads up when you're getting tired, and I'll go ahead and stop the stream then. I try and get close to an hour just so people know what to expect when I have the streams on. So if they miss the start of it, they know that it's worth firing up the browser even if they're a little bit late. Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, that diamond shape in the center is satisfying when it appears. It lets me know I've braided right, and it just looks aesthetically pleasing to me. And I apologize because I never know exactly how to pronounce or spell that word. I'm one of those kids who growing up learned how to pronounce a lot of words from only reading them and never hearing them, so I had some rather embarrassing moments as a kid where I was talking about the physician. And when I moved to this area, there was a town nearby. I thought it was Percasey, but it turns out it's Percy. There's a comedy group that has a song where they talk about the fun sounds of words: bulbous, bouffant, macadamia. Hey, no problem, Diane. I'm glad you were able to stop by, and I appreciate you coming and visiting. And I hope to be able to do this fairly regularly in the future, so you're able to visit. If you have any suggestions for braids you'd like me to do, feel free to either send me a message on Facebook or mention it in a comment or a chat on the videos. Um, you have a safe evening and happy braiding. Definitely getting more comfortable with this braid. And I can tell it's just about time for another Tama drop. Looks like everybody's headed out. I'll go a couple more minutes, just enough for another bag drop, see how much braid we've made, and then I'll stop the stream. Okay, about time for a bag raise. Pinch it tight. Not bad. Thanks for everybody to stop by, and have a good one all. And have a safe one, Michael, and happy braiding. Yep, this one's coming along rather nice. It's not one of the ones I normally do, but it's a very satisfying braid, and it looks very nice. So have a good evening all, or good morning, depending on your time zone. And probably Tuesday night Eastern time will be another braiding stream. And hope everyone has a nice one.